What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here with the Barf. This is the look back at the week that was so you can be prepared for the week that is. How are you? That was a very delayed, slow,
Yeah,
methodical intro.
it's okay.
I, f-
Sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes
yeah,
you kind of need to lull people in to the
I,
show.
I
So
feel like I
this
was,
is, no, you're
you
doing
know,
fine.
a little
Doing fine.
dramatic,
Super slow mo.
Yeah,
Super slow mo.
super slow mo. So, I see you changed the name to The Eagles Suck and Die Eagles Die. Nobody
No,
will
no.
ever see it because it doesn't record that. However, I will say the Eagles had 50,000 people show up to the open practice. That's more than Dallas
Wow.
gets on a Sunday.
100%.
And
100%.
Saquon Barkley, welcome to the Birds, came and said, "We don't get this many people at a game." And they were doing the Eagles chant every time he scored a touchdown, the whole bit. Yeah.
Whoa.
So we might be a little overzealous to get
It's
this
okay.
season
It's
kicked
okay.
off.
It's okay. We start every season with hope. I understand where you're. I understand. I understand
Yeah.
where you're coming from.
Well, I heard you guys, don't you? You have a quarterback controversy.
Is there really a controversy?
Probably not. They both suck. So,
Yeah.
anyhow, the
All right.
world of work is it's busy, man.
Anxious, anxiously awaiting us. All right,
Yeah,
let me pitch this story to you. Right,
kick it.
Snapchat
Yeah.
to pay $15 million to settle discrimination and harassment lawsuit in California after women told wait their turn.
Hmm. Wait their
Hmm.
turn for what?
Well, wait their turn. Just you sit there and wait, and you'll get your turn when you get your turn. So yeah, I found this on Kron4.com. So it's KRON4.com. So if you want to go look at it, it's kind of cool. Anyhow, wait their
Hmm.
turn. As I got into the story, I'm like, wait their turn, like things that you should never tell a woman.
Or
Okay,
anybody,
that's
really.
it. Or any, well, I don't know. I got some friends that probably said it too. But like women in the women in the workplace.
Yeah.
Like what else could be more offensive? Like you're being really aggressive. That's pretty offensive. There's a couple trigger words in there, but
Yeah.
wait your turn, $15 million. So
Wow.
if you now knowing this about Snap, if you were a woman, if you were a woman, would you work at Snap?
Probably not. I probably, you know, it, I mean, Snap. I probably wouldn't be a spot I'd work. Period. I don't know why. I just probably would. It doesn't appeal to me.
Right,
But
right.
in the context of this, no. I feel like I not that I can be overly picky on where I would ever go.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah. But
said,
they've sent you a signal as a woman.
yeah, I'm kind of yeah, I'd be over it. I'd be moved on and I go somewhere else. Yeah, I would. That's me. All right, the White House opts to not add regulatory restrictions on AI for now.
Interesting.
So, innovation. Regulations are where innovation goes to die. That's kind of what I say. I think you say stuff very similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, now that said, risks do need to be addressed and will be addressed through existing frameworks and guidelines. But the question I have is, can we trust it? So smarter people than me will definitely figure all that out. But for TA and HR, my question is, how will we ensure that AI remains our ally and not a liability? I think that's the question that we need to answer.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
think,
how do we make that happen?
well, we had a guest on the show the other day from Checker. She's
Hmm.
CTO, CIO from Checker. And we asked her this question. And she said government should be in the regulatory business in AI, which shocked me because I thought she would go the other directions. But her take was,
Hmm.
giant tech companies aren't going to regulate themselves. So the someone's got to actually be the intermediary between What can it do and what should it do?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
I Ryan, have you ever wondered why white men hate DEI?
No, William, I haven't.
So this is on Bloomberg.com. So you go check this out, and it's got a whole thing about how white men hate DEI. And so you might remember this commercial, you might not, but there's a commercial from Virginia Slims back in the day called "You've Come a Long Way, Baby," and they did it all kinds of print ads,
Mm.
all kinds of cool stuff. And it was, again, it was dated as it is, but white men who support Donald Trump deeply believe that women have made it. They've gotten to where they needed to be.
And
The
that's it.
essence. This is the
Stop it. That's it.
essence.
You got here.
You
Goodbye.
start with a story that's been snap. You should wait your turn. Now you've already made it. Anyhow,
Mm.
so the essence of this that support President candidate Trump hate DEI. They believe DEI comes at the expense of fair, using air quotes, competition. And here's two stats from this research that you should let's hear out. 84% of men believe that the obstacles that once made it harder for women than men to advance are now largely gone.
Mm.
84%. Let that sink in. 84%. That's only 16% don't think that. Now, these are all, obviously, these are Trump supporters.
Mm-hmm.
40% of men believe that the gains women have made in society have come at the expense of men. So,
Mm.
so almost half.
I kind of feel like I can't answer this question. It's like I damn if I do, damn if I don't.
Well, I think it explains, I think it explains the backlash. I think that's why it's important to
Yeah.
talk about. We've covered it on several shows. The back of DEI's programs getting
Yeah.
eliminated, and so you wonder, like, okay, well, where's all this coming from? It's coming from white men.
Yeah.
That's
Why,
where
that
it's
was
coming from.
obvious. Yeah.
Well, 84% of me of men believe that the obstacles that once made it harder for women than men to advance are largely gone. Now,
Hmm.
that wasn't obvious to me.
No, that's a huge number. I
See,
would. I
I
don't know
thought
where
the
that came from, but
I
I don't
thought
know.
I thought the white men hating DEI was just racist.
Yeah.
I thought that it
Mm-hmm.
was code, like, right. So that's what I thought that was. No, this is actually, they think that you just don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't, there's no need, you might, maybe at one point you needed it. No, you don't need it.
Yeah.
So compete.
You got enough.
So there you
I don't
go.
know. That's a lot. That's really high. I mean, there's idiots in the world, but that's a lot of idiots. That's
84%.
yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
10, almost 9.5. No, 10.5. 8.5 men out of 10.
that was like fifth grade math, and it took you a little bit, but that's good.
It did take me a while. I was a non-math major.
All right. Cash strapped EEOC plans a 1 day furlough agency wide. So, what's causing this? Increased cost, employee raises. So, in
Huh.
2024, they had a 5.2% pay increase for the fiscal year 2024. However, Congress declined to add to the agency's budget. So, can't kind of raise if you don't add to the budget, right? I see the problem. I'm sure you see the problem and why they
Yeah.
don't see the problem. Anyhow, did you know the agency's daily payroll is $1.3 million?
Billion?
Million.
Million.
That's a lot. No, maybe not, but it's a lot.
That's that's daily. Okay. Yeah, no, I got
Daily.
you.
Oh, daily. Yeah, 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 daily.
So it's basically 400 million a year.
Right. So a 1 day furlough. I kind of feel like
There.
that's not a, well, let me rephrase that. I don't think that's saving a lot of money.
Did we just talked about how the EEOC has already had more cases this year
Yeah.
than it did in 3 quarters last year?
They
And
can't
we're
handle
talking
the caseload, let alone lay everybody off for a day, furlough them
that
for a day.
that's right. Can't
Yeah.
Can't do it. That's
No.
well, Congress is just playing. I mean, I understand the soft budget, hard budget stuff from
Yeah.
Congress. So they're just that's just a game that's being played there,
Yeah.
and they
It's
don't
just
want
something. I
the
mean, look, this isn't like breaking news. Stop the presses.
yeah, but
But
the fact that they have to take a day off, an
right.
unpaid day off,
Yeah.
and oh by the way, their caseload is out of control. That just
Mm-hmm.
seems unfair.
Yeah. Yep.
Ryan, a jury awarded 22.1 million to a former Wells Fargo securities managing director who alleged that he was laid off after requesting to work from home as a disability accommodation. This is
Hmm.
Bill Stum versus Wells Fargo Securities Inc. So if you want to look at it, I found it on Reddit. So there's a well, just an extra chain of comments there if you want to go
Mm-hmm.
look at that. But this comes down to reasonable accommodations. So a judge said it wasn't clear whether the employer had engaged in genuine discourse about the ADA request. So return to office mandate done. This guy can't do it for whatever reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Asks for an accommodation. And the judge said, doesn't look like Wells Fargo was really interested in giving any types of accommodation and
Hmm.
any type of discourse around accommodation. And they now have to pay $22 million. Dollars.
That's the hammer right there.
That is a hammer.
Jesus.
I think they were sending a signal that if
Yeah. Now,
someone's,
who gets that money?
probably 70% goes to the law firm,
A lot of
and
it.
then
Yeah.
he'd get the rest of it. Yeah,
But
he'd
he
probably,
he gets the right. So it's not just a fine. Like he's getting the money.
no, it's him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he sued them. It's his last name's Billiston.
Hmm.
Billesdon.
Well, good for him.
Yeah,
All right. Reich enters the skills game, integrations with Oracle NetSuite, Intuit QuickBooks, and Dynamics 365. So when most people hear Reich, they think project management, client delivery stuff, essentially Monday-esque, if you ever use Monday.com type competitor. Here's what they've rolled out. And I think this is pretty important. So intelligent skills management and resource planning, timesheet approvals, and the ERP integrations that I just mentioned with Oracle, Intuit, and Dynamics 365. So based on skills, locations, language, and other things, Reich is going to be able to suggest the best assignee matching skills and availability. So,
interesting.
yeah, so this is interesting. So they've entered the skills game by collecting all of this information, building profiles of individuals in the organization, making the connections. And so I'm interested to see here where this goes. They've got some notable clients that are already using some of this, and yeah, now they've just launched, I believe, the Oracle integration, and they're moving on to QuickBooks and Dynamics as well. So interested to see where this one goes.
I love the idea that it could assign based on availability
Yeah.
and ability and availability. So I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's a very cool play. Good for them. Trip launches AI mediation guide Kukua,
How do you say that again?
Kokuaxr on MetaQuest. Kukua XR leverages Trip's mood data to deliver individualized meditative reflections based on user feedback in real time.
That's a lot.
So I think it's cool. I think it's cool, and here's why. So first of all, I found this on VentureBeat, so you go take a look at it. But I can see this being extremely helpful for employees who want to de-stress. So like if you go to Calm or
Hmm.
they've got like a bit, and you do that bit. This is on your headset, your Quest or whatever, your headset, and then you want to do a bit. It already knows stuff about you, and it's learning more things about you. It's like, again, you're not
Hmm.
having to do something off the shelf. It's like, hey, you know what worked last time that you needed to de-stress was this. Let's do that for a minute. And so it actually
Hmm.
prompts you as to things that work for you and have worked for you. So it calibrates and recalibrates. I think it's genius. So I mean, if you're going to be in a
I
VR headset like our friend if you're going to Cornerstone, if you're going to be in a VR headset for 20, 30 hours a week,
Yeah,
having an app in there that basically you can click over to and it says, okay, all right, you need to get up and you need to do
yeah.
this, or whatever the bit
Kind of like
is.
the
What
watches I'd say, and all the. Go get a drink of water. Go do
right?
this. Go do
But
that. Except now.
but this is for VR. This is
Yeah.
your inside this app, and it's not a general. Well, that's the best part. It's not a generalized thing. It's
Right.
specific to you, and
Yeah.
because it's on your, it's around your head. I would assume it's collecting data. It can, or maybe the future, it can collect data,
Do you ever feel
right?
like when you're
I'm
getting
hoping.
temperature, like
Hmm.
they shoot the gun for temperature at your head? I feel the lasers going into my
That's right.
head.
They are. They're
Like I
reading.
do. Like I feel
You
it.
you stole that in third grade, did you? Okay. What? Whoa.
When you're talking about is it gathering information sensors attached to our head? That's the first thing that came to my mind, and I feel it. I
I,
can feel it in my mind,
I'm just assuming it is. Go ahead.
extracting the information. I like it. I cannot wait until VR, until the headsets get light enough and compact enough to wear
Right.
all day. Because I will do it, or maybe just implant something in my head. I don't care. I can't wait for that to happen. All right, the DOL has a record-breaking collection, $35.8 million in backed wages and damages from a nursing facility in Pittsburgh. Now,
COVID.
here's what's that?
COVID.
COVID. Yeah. Here's the shitter though. This isn't the first time this CEO has been in trouble. Just
Ah.
last year, he was acquitted of creating the appearance, falsifying staff sheets to create the appearance that they were in compliance with Medicare and Medicaid. So he was acquitted of that, probably on some technicality or something like that. But now they've nailed him on backed wages of 35.8 million, $36 million in backed wages. This is the biggest wage recovery in U.S. history. One of the
And
largest. Sorry.
what were they doing? What was the issue? Was it they weren't taking out or taxes or?
It's a good question. I should have dug deeper. I don't know. I stopped at
Well,
that.
I think it's they were paying it overtime. If I understood it, but when
Yeah,
I skimmed the story,
yeah,
they're paying overtime incorrectly
yeah.
and
Incorrect.
treating
Six
and
thousand
treating.
people.
So this is that classification stuff. They
Yeah,
were they were treating employees as exempt from
yeah,
FLSA, and so the overtime requirements that come along with that. And I think that's where they got stung,
yeah. Well, six
which is
thousand
not
people are
shocking.
affected, and that's hey,
That's a lot of people.
that's a lot of people. It's a lot of money. One of the
Yeah.
largest in DOL history. So good for them catching them. And at some point, these employers are going to stop doing this, and I don't know when, but they will. Hopefully.
Ryan, Apple and union representation retail workers at the store in Townsend, Maryland, have agreed to a tentative labor deal in the first U.S. labor agreement, not only for an Apple store, but for any U.S. workers for the tech giant. So let that sink in.
Hmm.
Anywhere Apple is doing anything outside of the retail, all the other stuff that they do,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have any unions. And now they're about to have their first store. I don't even know where Townsend, Maryland is, but
It's
anyhow.
in Maryland
So
somewhere.
yeah, let's assume that. So they're going to have a union. That store is going to be unionized.
Oh.
So I'm not a huge Apple fan, so I'm kind of happy about all this. Uh, so
Well, unions are
so
a
there's
good
that.
thing.
Can be.
Can be.
I'm not a big union fan either. So there's that. However, the cult of Apple
Mhm.
has been penetrated by unionization,
That's
and
exactly what it is.
and
A cult.
I I want to see if it grows because this happened at Starbucks too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it did grow at Starbucks. And so, and they had great benefits and treated people well. Like,
Yeah.
why would you ever need a union? The company's doing everything. So we'll see if this grows or not. It
Yeah.
might, or it might not. But you know what? It's something to keep a lookout for us.
Well, I think it's a. I think this is we're gonna see a lot more of this, and I one of the
Oh, yeah.
previous weeks, Erica, for those who listen, Erica's my wife. She's an assistant teacher in a classroom, and they're not part of the teachers union.
Hmm.
And so now they're offering them or starting to offer them potential union benefits and things like that. I think the more we see the relationship between employers and employee change and separate more and more of this is going to happen because the workers will need someone to protect their rights and to help them. I think this is
Eh,
not the end of it.
my, we saw the unionizations up 2024. We saw
Hmm.
that. And so we know that unionization up there's a popularity to it. The problem that most people don't understand about unionization is it actually drives prices up. So now, yes, someone's going to be representing your interest. Okay, that sounds cool.
Hmm.
Up until where you used to pay 35,000 for that car, now you're going to pay 42,000 because of the extra benefits and all the extra pay and all that other stuff. But the union, because the union has to get paid.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's union dues that come from the employees, but they're putting into those contracts also fees for themselves.
Yeah.
So that gets paid by somebody.
You
Usually
and
it's the
me.
consumer. That's right. Ryan, we are now on the acquisitions. That's
We
the
are.
A in the BARF. Ready? ServiceNow acquires Raytheon to enhance GenAI powered search and knowledge management capabilities for the Now platform. That's the ServiceNow platform. So you can go and look at the press release on ServiceNow. But what I like about this is it's a better search within their own platform. So they could have built a better search, but instead they said, nope, this already exists. We're going to go buy it and integrate it into our Now platform.
Mm.
I think especially in what ServiceNow does, the better the search, the faster people can get the documentation that they need. I think it's genius. Like, good for them and good for their customers, quite frankly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Airtable in the business of acquihiring now. Airtable acquihires onboarding startup Doped, D-O-P-T, Dope, Dop. Got it?
I'm gonna say
One of
I'm
those?
gonna say adopt,
Dop.
adopt for adopt.
Right. For their talent, for their AI talent specifically. So found this on TechCrunch,
Hmm.
and what's interesting here. So this isn't enterprise glamorous, right? This isn't like your biggest of acquisitions, but Airtable is, and I've used it. I think you've used it in the past.
Yep. Yeah.
Is they're heavily in the SMB space, and had similar to Upwork, they made inroads into HR and
Yep.
recruiting over the years, specifically around onboarding. Now, they haven't ever been like the go to onboarding tool, but they've made inroads there because it's easy to use. And depending on the level of company and complexity, it can work really well. So terms weren't released here, but I'm
Hmm.
assuming, based on what I've read, that Dopt wasn't succeeding and they needed a lifetime. Enter the Aquahire. Um, but good luck to them. I like Airtable. I've always liked everything about them. I've enjoyed using them, and they've
Yeah.
got
Me
some really
too.
cool features. And I think for a company that is smaller, that isn't super complex, probably all you need, to be honest with you.
All right, Ryan. Last acquisition I have for this week: ZRG, a global talent advisory firm, acquires James Beck, a leading U.S. Based recruitment firm specializing in senior level talent. So this is on zrgpartners.com. Go take a look at it. This is niche talent, right? Financial talent, investment management, both private market and traditional firms. So now ZRG gets to go deeper into financial services, and they get to do that already with a firm that leads in that space. So I mean, you see it being great for ZRG and great for James Beck, quite frankly, because they can turn them on to clients that they didn't have before. So I love these types of acquisitions. It's just big fish swallows medium-sized fish. Good.
All right, let's talk some research. You ready for research? You want to
I am.
get
I
learned, and get
am.
smarter? Gen Z meets AI. in my parentheses, collaboration, questions, and skills. All right. So this is a report on how AI impacts Jay Z, Gen Z, same thing.
Same thing.
How
Both.
AI impacts Gen Z in the workplace. And I want to read these couple of things. It outlines 5 really critical gaps in the workplace of the future. But here are 3 things. I want to read them to you. So
Mm,
47% of Gen Z gets better guidance from AI compared to their managers. I don't disagree with
huh.
that. I kind of
Okay.
feel like I mean, yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
66% of Gen Z say that using AI had a positive impact on their skills. Good. 39% of Gen Z interact less with colleagues at work because of AI.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Yeah,
all those stats make sense to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interacting less with your employees. I'm not
You
sure if I
know,
take that as a good thing or a bad thing, other than how much unneeded conversation was
right.
happening prior.
100%.
Well,
This is what used to whip us in terms of Slack. Because like if we're using Slack and every
yeah.
message is critical, okay, well, how do we have 178,000 critical messages? That just can't be. They're
How do
not
you
all critical.
prioritize critical? Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right, Ryan. HR leaders are still focused on securing talent, says Grant Thornton survey. GrantThornton.com for the survey. Attraction and retention are hot topics in this report, but one of these 3 stats don't jive with me. Let me give you the 3 stats, and you tell me
Let me
which one.
guess which one. Yeah.
All right, are you ready? 70% of respondents identify employee retention and attraction as key concerns. 2. 79% said improving the employee experience is of high importance. Third, 77% said they have an AI strategy in place.
3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 77, no, let's see, three-fourths said they have an AI strategy
Yeah.
in
I
place.
would have answered it quicker, but in my mind I was listening to
Yeah,
a song and I had to hit
yeah,
the
yeah,
beat.
yeah, 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 yeah. 77%
Yeah.
said they have an AI strategy in place. I think 77% of like one company might have a
They might have
strategy.
thought about it.
Oh, well, okay. So let's do that. Let's roll that out. 77% of HR leaders have thought about AI.
Hmm.
I'll believe that. Yes,
Yeah, I
that's a
could
believable
believe
stat.
that. But if 77% of leaders haven't hired a chief AI officer or somebody who's going to
Sorry.
sit at the table and run it, not a conversation.
Sorry. There you go. Navigating the digital frontier. Americans' concerns for online safety in 2024 by Checker, our friends at Checker. So Checker, you could just go to checker.com and take a look at it. This is absolutely fascinating to me, especially the bit about taking a pay cut for less monitoring. 3 stats.
Yeah.
73%.
Insert
Yeah.
sound effect.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hell
3%.
no.
Oh yeah. I said, hell
I'll
no.
tell you what, pay me 20% less and then you don't get the monitor. Get the
Nah, pay me 20 more and you get everything. All right, 73% of Americans are extremely or moderately concerned about the data they provide online. Gen Xers 77, millennials 75 show the most concern. Second, 84% of Americans say they have a level of concern about safety and privacy of the data they provide online in the workplace. It's a pretty high number for workplace, so
hmm
let's track that. All right, and this one, which will send both of us over the edge. 48% of Americans say that they agree or are on the fence about taking a pay cut to ensure that their employers could not monitor their online activity in the workplace, with Gen Z leading at 54% feeling strongest about the issue.
Find
So,
another employer. Keep your salary, find another employer, pay me later for the advice. Jesus
dude,
Christ.
seriously, yeah. So when I saw that stat, I'm like, so half. of these people believe that take a pay cut so that employers could not monitor their online activity in the workplace.
I told you earlier I wasn't going to go out for dollar wing night. I
And now
changed my
you will.
mind.
Yeah, I've
I
driven
changed
you to
my mind
drink. Yeah,
because the fact that I'm not being monitored means I don't have to cut my salary. So I'm going to spend the
100%.
extra dollar on
As you
wings.
should. As you should.
I don't know, man. I stupidity sometimes.
Brian, seniors in the workforce, a new report by caring.com. Caring.
You should be a
So you,
news anchor sometimes.
yeah, I read that.
You
So
get that voice.
it's my Troy McClure voice from The
Seniors in the
Simpsons.
workforce.
Ah, you, my, I'm Troy McClure. You might know me from, yeah. Anyhow, so when we say this is at caring.com, so you go take a look at the story. It's actually quite fascinating. This is a report. So when we say 5 generations at work,
Hmm.
we really mean it. Hat tip, I mean it. Song by G-Eazy. Definitely go look at that when you get a moment, and you'll understand the reference. All right, 1 in 3 seniors are now working part or full time. Brian, that's a third. Just for
Yeah.
the yep. 1 in 3 seniors are unretired or returning to work after retirement.
Mm.
Third stat, 52% of retired seniors cite inflation as the primary reason they had to return to work.
Hmm.
Lastly, almost half of working seniors don't plan on retiring in the next 5 years.
Yeah. That was the I was hoping you weren't going to get that far on the list. Because that's going to be
I'm
like
just telling you.
90% by the time I get there.
100%. No, die in the
Um,
fields, dude. Just you're picking,
you
whatever you're
know,
picking up, you just die out
it's
there. You're good.
it's this is interesting because I was just having this conversation with my 16-year-old, and we follow the 50-30-20 plan for her,
Right,
right? For
right,
what now she's 16 for those of you that are listening and watching. And so 50% goes away for all of her needs, 30% for her wants, 20% for savings. Now, we break that 20 up usually 10 to invest, 10 to save,
right.
right? And usually her needs turns into savings because she doesn't really have needs, right? Car insurance. Okay, not that much, right? Then we break out the calculator, the online calculators for investments
Hmm.
and things like that. I'm thinking, she's like, oh my God, I'm having this much money. I'm like, that sucks. Like,
That's
you're gonna be
nothing.
screwed. And we're talking like $3-4 million. Like at the time she continues in the, like that, is that gonna be enough? And like
Nope.
I'm starting to actually I kind of maybe I'm on the fence, right? Like, will I be alive to care? I don't know. Like,
No.
should I care? I don't know because I don't think we have a
Nothing you can do
choice
about
to
it.
care. There's
No,
nothing you can do. You don't have a
you can't
choice.
change. You can't change any of it.
Yeah.
So it's the concept that we were sold, and our parents were sold, quite frankly,
Yeah.
on retirement.
Yeah.
That at the end of your 60, 65, whatever it is, the government will then be in place to then take care of you until you die.
Yeah.
And it's always been a pipe dream, and it is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
So that the fact that seniors are back into the workforce or never got out of the workforce and they're going to be here for another 5 years. It's again, when people say we have 5 generations in the workplace,
Yeah.
that's actually true, and I think that's one of the things that was most important to carry forward in this discussion is that that's not just people saying that. That's legit. We've got Gen
That's
Z,
real. Yeah.
and and we've got boomers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone's representative. There you go. So
In
anyhow,
what
that's the story.
country do they cover you through retirement? And is it too late to move there? How long do you need to be there?
Most of the Nordics, most of the, Sweden,
Hmm.
Finland, Denmark.
How
I
long do I need
mean,
to be there before that happens?
well, see, I don't know before you can be naturalized, but they pay generally 40 to 45% taxes.
Hmm.
So that's why you're
Right.
you're putting into it. You're just putting into it in a different way. And the legit, you can look at satisfaction surveys and all that other stuff. Legit, they have a great retirement. Ryan, if I were to tell you 85% of the good jobs will go to worker from with some form of post-secondary education or training by 2031, that's 7 years for those that count. Georgetown University report, what would you say? 85% of the good jobs will go to people with
Hmm.
a bachelor's degree or training.
Well, for the last 10 years, we've been told that degrees don't matter.
That's exactly right.
Now they're saying they matter. I'd be,
85%.
yeah, I'd be confused. Yeah.
Yes, a little bit. So this is a CEW, which is the Center for Workforce at Georgetown, cew.georgetown.edu, if you want to learn more about that. So I wonder, when I read it, of course, I was confused, just like you are. Like, okay, we've been told that degrees, like, you may as well burn them because no one cares. Don't have them in any of the job postings. Don't, like
Hmm.
degrees have been just diminished all to.
Yeah.
So when you see 85% of the good jobs are going to go to people with degrees or training, I wonder how much of that percentage is training versus how much of that is post-secondary education.
How did they define post-secondary education?
Yeah, bachelor's degree.
Bachelor. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Duh.
bachelor's degree or training. So they put or training, and that's
Yeah.
85% of the good jobs.
Okay. Well, you know
Mm,
what? Okay, so I missed the training part.
yeah,
I heard post-secondary. So that's fine. I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to have some type of training to get somewhere and do
to
something.
get a good job.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Not everyone can be as skillful as me and just walk in.
So, so what's the percentage now? If they were to just say post-secondary education, how many of those are getting? How many of that 85% are getting that with just post-secondary education?
By 2031,
7 years.
I don't think that's far off. I don't
Okay.
know that American
Bachelor's.
employers are comfortable yet. They say they are. I don't think they are comfortable yet saying forget degrees across the board and
I
let's truly
100%,
hire. Yeah.
100% agree with you. I think they say. I think it's in vogue to
Yeah.
take the bachelor's degree off the job posting.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the recruiters are saying, "Do you have a bachelor's degree?"
Yeah. This is the COVID version of DEI. I think
Right.
in a couple of years' time they're going to go back at some point
Yeah.
when we don't have five generations in the mix and it truly switches over.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Ma-
think then we're going when the next group of people are maybe two gener like as they start going into leadership, yes, that mentality will change and I believe we will see that. But I don't know. I think that's kind of soon.
Ryan,
Makes
most
the
of your
money.
grades, most of your grades in middle school were F's. So we are on the funding part of the barf.
You are not far off.
So
C's, a lot
Headway,
of C's.
a lot of C's, a lot of right there in the middle of the curve.
Mm,
So Headway, a startup linking people with in-network mental health
yes.
providers, raised $100 million, and
Ching.
found this on Axios, so you can go kind of learn about what they're going to be doing with the money and all that stuff. So this is great news for all of us that care about mental health insurance coverage.
Yeah.
They expand to use the funds, the 100 million, to expand into Medicare Advantage and Medicaid. So I love this. I mean, good for them. Like when people raise $100 million, you always wonder, like,
Yeah.
this is great stuff. Good for Headway. Good for society. Good for them. Emma raises 36 million to build universal AI employees for enterprises.
Yeah.
Talks. This is on VentureBeat. So you can look up Emma. That's just EMA. There's no two M's in that. Universal AI employees are capable of handling various tasks across functions.
Mm,
Was the sentence that really got me. I mean, it's interesting. So let me say it again because I spoke really fast. Universal AI employees are capable of handling various tasks across functions.
yes.
Let that sink in, right? So
It's
we've built silos, marketing, finance, accounting, blah blah blah, all these things. But for an AI employee, they don't see the silos. They see the task. Oh, we need data cleared up in this Excel
Hmm.
spreadsheet? Okay, great. That could be in finance, or that could be in ops, or whatever.
Hmm.
So I thought that was fascinating. Anyhow, Emma was founded by former Google and Okta
Yep.
employees, raising an additional 36 million as a part of a Series A fundraising round. Now, let this sing in. $50 million Series A. They have
Hmm.
$61 million in funding to date. And I know you saw the same story I did on Emma. So what was your take?
Yeah, well, I think so. This one I like, and I put it on the list of don't forget to follow me.
Right,
Um, I love the idea of AI employees. I think it's fascinating to me. Now, I think what's interesting to me here is that it's not just analysis and help and all of that stuff. It's executing the actual task.
right.
So it's having the conversation, it's doing the task, but it's also updating the records across all of those silos that you're talking about. So think like things like shipping,
Yep,
updating invoices, things like that. The other thing I really like about it is it has the ability to recognize the task, but then create the subtask. So it's inferring, okay, here's a task, here's your
yep.
subtask, and then if it can, it goes and executes on them.
Psst,
Doesn't need
done.
you, right? Nope, done. I'm gonna go execute on that subtask. It has a long-term memory, what they call
For
long-term
the
memory, and
for
that's what I
those that
love
are
about this.
for those that are scared and they're listening to this and going, "Oh my God, it can then do all the subtasks and just execute, etc."
Hmm.
At least for the next 20 something years, it's going to have human oversight.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it can do all those things, but it's going to have humans that come back and then double check and make sure that they're
yeah.
doing that that it's doing what it's supposed to.
And for most people listening, they will still be working, like we just said.
100%. 100%.
All right, Clutch Security Systems or Clutch Security raises $8.5 million in a seed round. So think about this. If a bad actor can exploit non human identities, NHI,
Mm-hmm.
within your AI, I'm using air quotes here, driven
Yep.
HR process, right? How vulnerable are your employees and your systems? Right? You got to so think about that, right? AI systems, they're used for tasks like screening job apps, managing employees, employee data, et cetera, et cetera. So these systems need NHIs to ensure that they have the right access and the right permissions, preventing bad actors from doing these things, unauthorized access to all of this. This is what Clutch does. They make sure that we are safe and things are safe. So one of the things, and I don't know if you know more about this than I do, but NHI's maybe explaining non-human
Mm-hmm.
identities to
Right.
people.
Yeah. I mean, these are like we just talked about AI employees a second ago. They are going to be vulnerable by hackers because they're going to be run
Yeah,
by software. So if they're run by software, you're always going to have a backdoor or a way to hack into that software. So now with NHIs, what they're doing is with the non-human identities is saying we need to actually put security protocols in front of
correct.
these to ensure that they don't get exploited and
Hmm.
that the company doesn't get exploited, etc. So first of all, I love the name Clutch.
Yeah, yeah.
That's clutch to me. So good for them. 8.5 seed. Trio Mobile secures 26.5 million in growth financing led by New Spring to revolutionize workplace safety and efficiency with AI and IoT. The internet,
IoT.
the Internet of Things. You don't often get to say that these
Not
days.
anymore.
I know. It's kind of going by the wayside. PR Newswire source. So you go take a look at it if you wanted that. Ryan, I've been telling you this for a year. Safety is sexy.
You
And
have been saying that.
it is.
It's
It
taken
is.
me a while to come around. Because it's
These
just,
guys just he's just got
yeah, it's sexy.
26.5 million. Now
Yeah,
the thing is they're on the front they're on the forefront of innovation, pioneering advanced solutions to enhance safety and increase efficiency in industrial settings.
Yeah.
So that's their bit. Is they're looking at safety in these industrial settings and saying
Hmm.
the Internet of Things. Okay, how do we combine all these devices and how do we use AI to figure out how to be more safe? Genius. That's good. That's just all good stuff right there. So congrats to them. WorkJam, a digital frontline workplace, has received $20 million in funding, and the use of funding will fuel its expansion into EMEA, the SaaSnews.com source. So
Hmm.
WorkJam focuses on high volume and hourly markets. It'll be interesting as I read the story. It'll be interesting to see how what they do, it, how it translates and performs and adapts in different nations. So they're Canadian based, but they have some presence in the North America, of
Hmm.
course. But again, you're going after high volume hourly markets. Check, check. All that makes sense. They have
Yep.
that in London as well, or Berlin or whatever. Okay. But they've also got different regulations and different
Yep.
compliance and different complexities. So good for them for 20 million. Happy for them. It'll be interesting how that translates. And you saw the same story on WorkJam.
Yeah, these guys have, man, these guys have worked hard. I remember I got to meet Steven and team over at HR Tech when they just had a small little startup booth. This might be, and I've mentioned them a number of times, and I always refer back to them because the app was just really clean and easy to work with. And I always refer back to these guys because I absolutely love everything that they do. I feel like I need to work for them. Like I love what they do. Um, let me share this. So 73% of enterprises say that digital transformation has not reached frontline employees. Sounds like a lot.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. Roughly 61% of the workforce is considered frontline workers
That's
across
hurtful.
work.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
insane. These guys are they're solving a massive problem, scheduling, communication. But one of the things I really liked about them is they have the real-time learning platform inside
Mm,
of the app. So as you're
right.
on the floor, as you're doing things, you need help, you need to learn, it's right there. It's done. It's on the app, cross scheduling, the whole bit. Congrats to these guys. Hats off. They've done a phenomenal job. All right, Jarvis, a UK-based pension provided provider, excuse me, lands $2.3 million in seed round. So I like this. This is when I saw this, I wanted to include it in. It's a small one, but this is financial literacy, and so pension plans, the way you want it, essentially, is how they market this. So you can design your own pension plan. They have employer options, they have personal options, they have contractor options, all the options that we don't have here in the States. So
Hmm.
I feel like I needed to include it.
Ah,
It seems like a decent platform. I've never spoken to them, but congratulations to them. And I know you've got thoughts on pensions as well. We don't have them, but
yeah.
hopefully one day.
I mean, well, I don't think it's going to go that way, but
No, not.
um, yeah, those days are over.
Yeah.
But I do like financial literacies. I do like anything that helps people understand kind of the way the world works.
Yeah.
I think that's good because I don't think it's taught anywhere else outside of the family. So B raises 7 million for its wearable AI assistant that learns from your conversations.
Ooh.
Right? I thought you would find this fascinating. So basically, this said TechCrunch, and I love investments like this. So
Yeah.
our phones, if they're not already listening to everything that we're doing, I can't imagine that there isn't going to be a time where they're just not always on and always listening to everything we're doing
Hmm.
and learning, not in a bad way, but learning from that to then make them more efficient. But these are wearables, so this is something you buy and put on you, and then it listens to all your conversations, and then it learns from your conversations. So it could be learning in terms of like to dos
Hmm.
or interactions that you have that went well, didn't go well, etc.
Yeah.
So I think there's plenty of space for wearables, and I can't wait to see what else they do. So
Yeah.
congratulations to B. That's just BEE, like Bumblebee.
Like B.
Like B, however else you would spell B, like the letter B.
B, yeah,
Be
we can go down a
be
list. I
real.
mean,
Be real. Anyhow, so B 7 million, Brian. 7 million.
I love it. I love this idea. Now, how big is it? Is my question. I've never seen this, right? So, like, how big is it? I've seen some wearables that are like, what the, like, why would I ever wear that?
100%.
In time, it's gonna get. I get it. In time, they come down. But I love this stuff. I'm not afraid of, and I've said this over and over. I'm not afraid of these types of things, these wearables and such. Understanding who I am and making my life easier and better. Now, I don't want to be a robot,
Right.
but I'm not against half a robot. Well,
It's
I
something
try it.
that's going to, I mean, but something that's going to listen to your conversations and hopefully make you better. Can't
Yeah,
suck.
as long as there's no regulations on those and has to report bad conversations.
Oh, so this
That could be
becomes
an
kind of
issue.
this becomes like a dash cam or a police cam.
Yeah, like what if? And I
I don't
thought
think they
about
have.
this.
I don't think they're thinking of it that way. But go ahead.
No, but I've thought of it. Like, okay, I have a wearable like B, and it's listening to my conversations,
Yeah,
and I say something I probably shouldn't have said. And then that something happens, like I'm gonna kill this person, and that
I would
person
never wear
dies.
one. I would never wear one.
Yeah, that makes me not want, right? So like at what point could we this happened with social, right? Like now
Yeah,
they go back and they, oh, look what's on the timeline. Look what's here.
yeah,
There is a concern there.
yeah. I
You
can
know.
see that. I can
Mm,
see that. That you basically, if you're sued for something, they could get
yeah.
a warrant for all your information that comes through there, and then go through all your conversations.
Well,
Huh?
I'm easy to
Interesting.
sway and convince, and I'm not convinced I should be wearing one right now.
No, I should definitely not be wearing one. Now, they're thinking about productivity.
Right, right, right.
Okay.
They are thinking productivity. Mm, it can change.
Hive Health raises 6.5 million, transforming healthcare access for SMEs in the Philippines. So I wanted to bring this forward because ourhivehealth.com, it's two founders, two women founders, went to
Hmm.
Harvard, I think it's Kennedy School. They got their degrees. They came back and they said, why don't we have more healthcare access? And then they went and built it. And so I just love stories like that. Like this is what you want. You want people to bring innovation, maybe that they
Hmm.
find in the U.S. or somewhere else, and then they bring it back to their country. And now they're going to try and transform healthcare access, all across the Philippines. So good for them.
Cannot go wrong with that.
And yeah, give it a read if you get a chance. rhivehealth.com. Win, name of the company. So if it sounds odd in this sentence, this is the
I
name of
totally
the
thought you
company.
were telling me a story. When?
When, yeah, there was this one time, an AI powered offboarding solution designed to help employees navigate the post employment transitions and maintain access to healthcare
I
by
love it.
offering a more affordable alternatives to Cobra. Raises $4.6 million. This is also on Axios, so you can go take a look at it. So, first of all, Win is the name of the company. And I love that. So hard stop.
Hmm.
Win. Where is their interview? Where they're innovating is also pure genius because offboarding. I mean, it has always been the redheaded stepchild, and they need a tech revolution. So
Hmm.
I think I think Win is going to do really well, and it's a good time for it. So good for them.
Yeah, I love. The first sentence had me. I think
I know,
offboarding is one of those things where it's just an afterthought, unfortunately, and I think
100%.
it 100% needs this. This is fantastic. Now, when you said where, I was like, no, did they go and get the five W's and they have something for each? Like that would be really cool. Um,
Where in the employee journey?
yeah, yeah, I love it. Good luck to these guys. I'm gonna mark these down as one to follow for myself as well.
When?
Tomorrow.
When will you mark it down? Ryan, this is the last funding story for
This
today.
is this is.
Google and Coinbase vets raised 5 million to build an icebreaker. Name of the company. Blockchain's answer to LinkedIn.
Mm,
So this is interesting. So this is unfortunate. So you can go take a look at it there. So first of all, I don't hate it because using blockchain, in my opinion, would cut down on a lot of the BS that happens on LinkedIn. So you have real people that are really verified, that with their skills that are really verified, like everything's verified. So there's no anonymous. And so your resume is actually your resume. And so all of that stuff with reference checks and all that screening, all that shit's it's all on the blockchain. So it just cuts out all the kind of the things that we don't like. It cuts that out, and I signed up. So
cool.
there you go. Icebreaker.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
Icebreaker.
I don't know. I don't like the name. Mm,
Icebreaker?
yeah. I
You
mean,
like
not that
when?
funding should be based on the
Yeah, based
name,
on the name. No, no, we've had some.
but yeah, yeah. I mean, I like the idea. Good luck to
Yes.
them. I mean, look,
Yeah.
every behemoth needs to be knocked down a little bit here and there. I don't know that it's needed. I don't know that it's not needed. Um, Good luck. Let's see where it goes. I'll go sign up,
There you go.
and that's it. We're done. So thank you
Do
all for listening. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching, love and like us everywhere. We do have a lot of travel coming up in September and October. So if you're in the area of any conference that you see us, please stop by, say hello. And what else you got? Anything else today?
ratings. If you
Ratings.
could
Oh
rate
yes.
one of our podcasts, we would absolutely love that. And also check out if you're a newsletter person, check out our Substack because it's awesome.